In 1994, my family immigrated to Canada, and we landed in Mississauga. I remember something vividly. Before my dad bought a car, he bought a computer. And that computer became a gateway for everything. I remember every day my dad would go to the library and study to go to the medical examination. And the library became his second home. Computers, books, curiosity. That became a gateway for learning new skills. Pizza Hut had a program at that time, and you read 10 books, you get a free pizza. I remember the first year, I read 100 books, got kicked out of ESL, and that became my first startup incentive program. Fast forward while I was in high school, I remember a family came into Japan Camera where I used to work, and they wanted an old family photo restored. I didn't know how to use Photoshop or how to restore photos, so I self-taught myself Photoshop. And I learned something interesting. The problem that was presented to me led me to learn this new skill. And that skill created an opportunity. And that became my first business. Fast forward to the age of 27, I had founded and co-founded 20 startups. 80% of them failed. And that hurts. But each failure became a gateway to a new skill, a new capability. Resilience, adaptability, creativity, problem solving. Things I couldn't learn from a textbook. Today, we have a paradox. Employers say they can't find the right talent, and youth say they can't find the right opportunity for a career. We're at the all-time highest unemployment in 10 years, and that's not a Canadian problem. That's a global problem. With technology and AI accelerating that gap, it's becoming even a more prominent issue. We're training people for jobs that don't necessarily exist tomorrow when they graduate. And we're also training people for jobs that haven't yet been created. And so this begs the question, are we training people for information or capability? And so what if we did something different? What if our training systems were designed to build capability? What if people were trained to solve problems, and those problems led to opportunity? That became the foundation of the work that we do at Prepper. Since 2010, we teach people how to solve challenges and build capabilities that they didn't realize they had. And so it's our responsibility now today to look at past generations that have built infrastructure for roads, for electricity, for internet, and for us to build a new infrastructure, a capability infrastructure where we're helping people get the skills that they need to build, to become problem solvers, to become creators. And that's really going to be intentional, because when I think about my kids, your kids, and our grandkids, if we don't build systems around the workforce development and education, to be able to empower them to be builders and control the technology, they're going to be consuming information and being the consumers of this new society rather than shaping it and building systems around it. So it's our responsibility as employers, as parents, as educators, as people in government to go back and actually question our workplaces and in our governments and in our communities. Are we building the right steps and the right systems to be able to take shape and shape that future rather than just consume it? I know my dad and his decision to buy a computer before buying a car changed that trajectory for me. And we can change that trajectory for millions of people today if we take the right steps to shape the future and control it with technology. So let's make sure that we ask the right questions as we leave here today and ensure that we challenge our communities, we challenge our governments, we challenge our classrooms to take the steps so that we control our future. Thank you.